What's up everyone, and welcome to the second video in this networking series. If you haven't already, be sure to check out my first video where I share tips and tricks on how to successfully network via LinkedIn. And don't forget to like and subscribe if you're finding this series helpful. As I discussed in my previous video, networking is crucial to any profession or anyone at all for that matter. The funny thing is, most of us network without even knowing it. A common platform that most of us use regularly for networking is Tinder. Email. Yeah, definitely email. We probably check our email a couple times a day and try to respond to it as soon as possible. So today, I'm going to be showing you how you should effectively cold email and network with others. Similar to LinkedIn, cold emailing can be a little tough at first, especially since you don't know who's on the other side of that connection. Will they reply to you? Will they ignore you? And all that stress or tension that may build in the middle of waiting just to get a response. Stick around to the end of this video for me to share how you can track if the other person got your email and if they even opened it for free. In comparison to adding a note to your LinkedIn connection, an email gives you more flexibility in what you want to say. Through adding a note on LinkedIn, you're only allowed between 200 to 300 characters to get your message across. With that said, just because you have more space in an email doesn't mean you'll be sending a 5-paragraph MLA formatted essay explaining who you are and why you want to chat with them. When it comes to networking via email, try to keep your initial email brief and to the point. It's your first time connecting with them, so you don't want to give them your life story just yet. I'd keep your email to no more than 5 to 7 sentences max. Your first sentence should introduce yourself, so what you're studying or where you go to school, kind of like your elevator pitch. And depending on who you're reaching out to, let's say a consultant for example, you should mention why you're interested in consulting and how a conversation will help you have a better understanding of what they do, how the firm operates, or its overall culture. This is just an example, so if you're interested in reaching out to them for something different, you're welcome to add that as well. Like your LinkedIn message, you want to end by thanking them and asking for their availability directly. So instead of asking, are you interested in a call, be more direct and say something like, a quick call would really help out when it comes to learning more about this profession. So when is a good time for you? Obviously, it doesn't have to be as cookie cutter like what I mentioned above, but something along those lines to get the message across. If you just ask if they're interested in a call, they may be busy or just not interested in talking with you. The more engaged you sound, the more interested they become. But again, you might have a perfect email and have a response where they say they're busy or unavailable. So that's why you should reach out to more than one person when wanting to network via LinkedIn, email, or any platform for that matter. Now you might be asking, okay Ryan, great, I know how to send an email, but how do I even find them or their email? And those are both really great questions. The website hunter.io, which I'll share in the bio below, is a website that provides the template that many companies use for their employees' email addresses. For instance, McKinsey follows a first name _ last name at mckinsey.com. So my email if I were to work at McKinsey would be Ryan _ Rafi at mckinsey.com. Feel free to check out hunter.io to learn more about different email structures for different employers. Now again, you might ask, okay Ryan, great, I know their template, but how do I hunt, pun intended, down their name to begin with? This is also a great question and can be done in various ways. You can find them via LinkedIn through searching the company and people in the sidebar, which I explain in greater detail in my first video. You can ask your friends, which stay tuned for my next video where I explain this in further detail, or you can reach out to school or professional counselors, or go to recruitment events, both on campus if you're a student, or virtually if you create an account with that company. You interact with people every day and these people are your network. So all you need to know is where that person works and you can begin networking. I know, it kind of sounds a little stalkerish, but it's worth it. You might be thinking, what's the point in sending someone an email if I can just message them via LinkedIn? And that's a fair point. But keep in mind, not everyone checks their LinkedIns periodically. People may check every other day or every month. Whereas an email is anyone's go-to sometimes for reaching out to a manager or client and serves as both a professional and commonly checked platform. Now, I promised at the beginning of this video to share a method to see whether or not your email has been sent and opened by the other user. I use a feature attached to my email called Mail Tracker. Mail Tracker is an extension you can add to your email to see if other parties opened your emails. I like this feature because it lets you know whether they opened your email and whether you should follow up with them. You could use the free or pro version, so be sure to check it out. In some cases where they open your email and don't respond, it's usually because they weren't interested or just forgot because other things came up. Regardless, you should never be frustrated, and that's why I advise reaching out to more than one person. In my experiences, I've reached out to people via email to set up phone calls or video meetings, but their schedule doesn't permit or they're just too busy, and still usually want to help out. They were open to having me ask questions and would respond whenever they get the chance. That way, you can ask your more pressing questions in a more convenient manner. You're not building as strong of a network if you're doing this consistently, but it can be more helpful if you're interested to learn more about a company or a position. So as a recap to networking via email, you want to have a brief message explaining who you are and why you want to chat with them. Make it direct and persuasive to catch their interest and willing to set up a time with you. Remember to reach out to more than one person to increase your chances while networking. With that being said, I hope you found this video helpful when it comes to your networking endeavors. If you're interested in learning more or finding templates on how to reach out to people, visit my website ryanrafi.com for more information. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks, and remember, you gotta network to get work.